What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most requested reviews analysis, so stick around, you don't want to miss this. But before we get into that, if you're considering a purchase, don't miss out on this incredible discount available right now. Check the description below and the pinned first comment. Now let's not delay any further and jump right into the details.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer recently had the chance to try out an electric bike and wanted to share his thoughts. He's tested quite a few e-bikes before, everything from those small, foldable ones to cruisers, mountain bikes, and bikes with both thin and fat tires. This time he was looking for something with a decent motor to help with hills, at least 7 gears, pedal assist, a design that's easy for someone in their 60s to get on and off of, a comfortable ride with good suspension, fat tires for balance, and a removable battery for easy charging. This scooter-like bike ticked almost every box. The reviewer was immediately impressed by the build quality. Despite the shipping box being a little banged up, the bike itself was in perfect condition thanks to ample styrofoam padding. At over 75 pounds, it was the heaviest electric bike he'd ever tested, but that weight comes from the large battery and powerful motor. Assembly was surprisingly simple, just attaching the pedals, fenders, and front wheel. It's practically pre-assembled. The ride itself was clean, smooth, and comfortable, thanks to the fat tires and front suspension. The motor is strong, providing rapid acceleration. The reviewer found the bike easy to handle, even on hills. Shifting gears was effortless, and the fat tires made a satisfying sound while riding around the neighborhood. The electronic controls were easy to use, and the display was clear even in sunlight, showing battery level, speed, and other useful information. The large battery is a major plus, offering a significantly longer range than other bikes the reviewer has tested. The battery cells are made by a reputable company, and the bike even uses a USB-C interface for charging, which is a nice touch. The battery is easily removable for charging. However, the reviewer points out that the motor can push the bike to a speed exceeding legal limits. Potential buyers should definitely check local laws before going full throttle. While electric scooters might be more nimble, the reviewer finds bikes safer, more versatile, and still operable even without battery power. Overall, he found this product to be a joyful experience, highlighting its build quality, riding comfort, and smooth acceleration.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer is absolutely thrilled with this bike. They were searching for a versatile and feature-rich option and found that this scooter surpassed even much pricier models at local bike shops. The large, removable battery, substantial tires, cargo carrying capability, and effective headlight for night riding were all major selling points. A reviewer now primarily uses this scooter instead of their car for getting around town. Reaching speeds around 20 mph makes navigating urban and suburban environments quick and efficient. The pedal assist makes longer rides and tackling steep inclines a breeze. Finding a local bike that offered the same features at a similar price point was simply impossible. While high-end bikes might offer certain advantages, they didn't include everything this scooter does, and for almost double the price. The trade-off is a somewhat heavier frame, but the powerful motor and overall ride quality more than compensate. This client appreciates the motorcycle-style throttle that provides an alternative to pedal assist, although they recommend using it sparingly to conserve battery life. They also had a positive experience with customer service when purchasing a spare battery, though they did note that it required contacting support directly and using a specific payment method. However, there are a few minor downsides. The reviewer mentioned a manual mode that, if accidentally activated, can cause the wheel to spin unexpectedly, potentially leading to a loss of control. Also, the metal frame around the rear tire can bend if the scooter falls over, causing it to rub against the tire. Luckily, it's easily bent back into place. Additionally, dropping the scooter on its side can cause the battery to dislodge, even when locked. Finally, they experienced 2 flat tires in quick succession, and replacing the rear tire tube proved more challenging than with a regular bike. They advise caution when riding over curbs to avoid pinch flats and recom.
Wonderful. Now, let's explore the feedback from our next reviewer.
This reviewer found this electric bike to be a solid purchase, especially considering their car-free lifestyle. They say it's fast, surprisingly easy to handle, and the assembly process wasn't too bad. It gets the job done for them, but they did want to highlight a few things that potential buyers should know. First off, our reviewer experienced a flat tire pretty quickly. It seems the tire itself might be a bit rough on the inner tubes, and they're already looking at replacing one. They're concerned that if this continues, they might have to replace the tire itself sooner than expected, which would be an added cost. Another thing they noticed is that the handlebars aren't as stable as they'd like. The connection point between the handlebars and the frame tends to wiggle and shift, no matter how tightly they tighten the bolt. This means they have to readjust it every so often, which can be a bit of a pain. Something else to be aware of is the front-wheel drive. Apparently when you engage it, it's instantly full throttle. This client warns against using it from a standstill, as the tire will just spin out of control. It's best to only activate it when you're already moving. Finally, they have some concerns about the battery attachment point. It seems a bit wobbly, and they worry that bumps and rough roads might make it even less secure over time. Also, the exposed design of the battery connection makes them cautious about riding in wet conditions. They recommend covering the battery area when not in use, especially if you might need to ride later and there's a chance of rain, to avoid potential moisture damage. Even with these issues, our reviewer seems happy, but wants future users to know what they are getting into.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you next time.